Whoa. Yeah.
Well, staying on the question of provincial jurisdiction and setting aside the constitutionality question, are there other ways in which provinces might respond if this bill became law? For example, would Ontario get rid of its, its guarantee plan, whatever it's called, because they would say it's not needed anymore. Take it off their shoulders. Would other provinces change things that they're currently doing? I don't know, target benefit plans. Would it change their calculation? Essentially, would we see a transfer of responsibility away from the provinces to the act, essentially, and federal involvement? Again, setting aside constitutionality, they may be happy for this. Takes us off our responsibility. But either of you, please.
I don't see any way in which a province would change anything it's doing because of this, other than possibly you raise the issue of the Pension Benefit Guarantee Fund in Ontario. Yes. But while it's likely not going to have to pay out as much in the future, this act does not guarantee that every pension fund is going to receive all the money that is needed to pay everybody 100 cents on the dollar. If there's a bankruptcy with very few assets available, we could still have situations where the Ontario Guarantee Fund comes into play and becomes useful. One of the consequences, by the way, of this would be the Guarantee Fund in Ontario won't need as much money in the future, and employers will no longer have to contribute as much to it, which will be a saving to employers.
Should Ontario pay first before this plan kicks in?
I'm going to skip that one by saying I believe that's a policy issue.
I would just say that it should be clear in the bill, because the PBGF is intended to apply in an insolvency, and it's not.
We don't know who's going to pay first.
Insolvency organization will solve that in the different scenarios.
Please go ahead and
will pension legislators or change the way that they fund pension plans? I mean, they did go through an exercise to deliberately change the funding target. Will they see this as overriding their policy decisions? I don't know whether they would make a challenge as a result of that. I'm speculating on that.
Just a quick follow-up on the previous issue. I take it our colleagues from the association disagree with Ms. Gladue about the impact that this bill will have on defined benefit plans that are not, well, that it will not, you feel and Ms. Gladue feel that there will not be a diminution of defined benefit plans for a variety of reasons. But isn't it accurate to say that companies that don't yet have pension plans, and companies may not even exist today but will come on stream, will be highly disincentivized to come up with defined benefit plans? Isn't that an accurate assessment?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So I think that's why there are many other solutions that are being investigated to produce something like a pension plan,
Go ahead, Mr. Gorham.
If I may, that is the current situation with or without this bill. There's very, very few new defined benefit plans being established. They're a rarity.